Hi YouTubers, Dr. Dan Alsop here, and welcome to the first in a sort of mini-series of Doctor Who action figure reviews. In this mini-series I'll be looking at the new exclusive sets from B&M, and I'll be beginning with this, which is the 1970s collector set. Okay, I'll begin with the most common figure, I guess. So the first figure is the Auton, as seen in Spearhead from Space. The figure is essentially just the Auton from the Enemies of the Third Doctor box set. So articulation is exactly the same. Head can't really do a 360 because it's hindered by the scarf, but it can move left and right. Arms can go 360 up the shoulder and can move up and down at the elbow. There is no weight. There might be weight. Yeah, there is a full 360 waist articulation. Legs can kick forward out to the side, and there is knee articulation. So it's very basic articulation, like you would have seen in the early days of character options. But it makes sense because the Autons never really moved at all in the episode. They didn't have much articulation. It's all very staticky, so that's absolutely fine. For detail, once again, if you got the Orton from the Third Doctor's enemy set, you'll know what to expect. The head is superb. They've captured the Orton likeness absolutely incredibly, which is just the same as the other one, because I should point out all the sets are variants pretty much. There's not really any new figures in the batch, but there's a load of variants. So the head is exactly the same this time round, and it's still as absolutely superb as ever. The basicness of it is brilliant. For the costume, last time it was a sort of blue colour. This time they've just gone full grey, which I've not watched Spearhead in a long time. I can't really remember if it wears a costume like that in the episode, but it's fine, I don't really mind. So you've got great detailing of all the overalls on the chest. You've got the belt which runs all the way around. Nice creasing effect there. Legs, yeah. And the legs also have this grey paint. And the feet have been painted silver, and it looks quite nice. The hands, you've got the human hand obviously, and on the right hand you've got what was the swappable hand on the other Auton figure of it in gun mode. Unlike the other Auton figure, this one, the hand isn't swappable, as in it probably does come off, but you don't have the alternate hand, which is a shame, but it doesn't really matter because I'd be displaying it like this anyway. There's not a lot to say on this figure which you wouldn't already know because if you have the other set. So that's the Auton. Brigadier Lethbridge-Stewart. Not sure what episode it's from, but I sort of said it's Ambassadors of Death. Articulation on this is very basic. The head can't really do a 360 because of the collar, and I wouldn't want to force it. The arms is essentially the same articulation as the Auton figure. You got that, but you have wrist articulation, which I forgot to mention on the Auton. There is waist articulation yet. It's still quite stiff because I only got this out of the packet yesterday. The base figure for this is a Series 1 Captain Jack figure, where the jump suit and everything, as you can see. And that's partly why it's all basic. I've got a lot more to talk about with this figure. I'll begin with the head. The head, yeah, it looks like Nicholas Courtney. You can tell it's him, but that's partly due to the moustache. And I'd say out of the head sculpts we've had of the Brigadier, the others being the ones from the Damon set and the Three Doctors set, this one is the weakest. And the others are a lot finer details, and this seems to just be a bit of a rough job. On the beret, It looks nice. You don't have any text on the logo, which I guess would just be way too fiddly to do. Outfit is nice. There is a bit of paint bleed from the red there on here. We've got the stuff there, and you can see underneath. I don't know if you can on camera. You might be able to see there's a bit of a logo from the Jack Harkness figure. Moving down, it's very basic colours and brown shoes, which is fine. I sort of said it's from Ambassadors of Death, where he did wear a more simple outfit. The figure's alright. Like, I wouldn't say it's anything special, but it is nice to have. Like, it's one of my favourite. I don't know why it is. Maybe it's because I like the Brigadier, but even though the figure has a load of not very complicated, it's one of my favourite ones out of the B&M sets. And the final figure in this set is the Fourth Doctor, as seen in Talons of Weng-Chiang. A bizarre choice, considering the other two figures are from Jon Pertwee stories, and even more bizarre when I get to the costume. But first, articulation. This is the busiest figure of the set. The head mine is very stiff, but it can move and probably can do a 360, but I don't want to try. The arm can do a full 360 at the shoulder, and unlike the others, it can swivel there. Has the arm articulation there. Wrist can do a 360. The waist can do a 360. You can do the splits. There's articulation there, knee, and there is knee articulation. So it's easily the most complex in terms of articulation. Now, detail. The head, I believe, is the season 12 head, and as ever, it is a great likeness for Tom Baker. I really like it. The costume, now this is why it's really confusing, and they might as well have called it a third Doctor set. The costume is in fact a Jon Pertwee costume. The base figure is Jon Pertwee, even to the extent that this is the Jon Pertwee cloak. So you've got the frills and everything on the coat, etc. Like, it's a good base figure, because this is Tom from Talons of Weng-Chiang, where he wore clothes fairly like that. They've changed the top section here to have a tie instead of the frills. However, when it comes to, and mostly they get away with it, however, when you get to the legs, you've got the boots. The Jon Pertwee boots have been painted grey. It's less visible on camera, but you can see where they've painted shoes on, and it's particularly noticeable at the top, where you can see etches of where bits of boot would be. But generally it's fine, and on display it looks absolutely fine. Around the back it's just red and grey. I really like this outfit, actually. I enjoy Talons of Weng-Chiang, and I'd say this is the best figure in the set. The cloak is very nice. You've got a nice pinstripe pattern. Goes up, Tom, stand up. You've got a nice pinstripe pattern across it of red, white and black, and the brown on the back does set it off. I do really like this cloak. It's a good thing that it's removable, actually, because I do like this figure. Like the John figure, it's always been very hard to take it off, to put it back on, but it is done, and I found it actually quite easy with this figure than my current Jon Pertwee figure. Yeah, once he's got the cloak on, articulation's hindered, so you can't really move the arms at all, and the legs will be hindered as well. So if you want him to be a gymnast or whatever, then it's better to have him without the cloak. I'll be displaying him with the cloak, obviously, but I do really like this figure. It's the unique selling point of this set. So on to my verdict. Should you buy this set? Yeah, I really liked it, and it's for a fairly reasonable price of $16.99. I thought it was really good. You've got Tom, which is a fairly new figure. While they all use existing parts, a lot. I feel like they use them well. The Auton, it's army building essentially, because what a lot of people got annoyed with endless Dalek variations earlier on in the line, I really like that because there's nothing wrong with army building Daleks. The Brigadier, it's a nice figure to have, although I feel like the head is a bit poor, but the Tom gets it for me. I really like the Tom Baker figure. So, and for $16.99, you can't really go wrong there. So, thanks for watching this review. I'll be back tomorrow with my next review, which will be the 11th Doctor Collector's Set. See you then.